So today we're continuing on with independent and dependent variables, but this time we're going to be looking at them on a graph. So we have certain steps that are new and certain steps that are already been taught. So let's just go ahead through them and see what they are. So the first step is to determine which is the independent and which is the dependent variable. Remember, the dependent changes because the independent changed, not the other way around. And the independent variable is x and the dependent variable is y. Aw, I'm running out of orange. Bummer. Oop, I got another orange. That's okay. So now, why do I have an ordered pair here? Because on graphs, we use ordered pairs. So I just wanted to remind you. I reminded of you several times. Next, we are going to create an input-output chart. Remember, well, you know what, you'll see it, and we will do it again. And when we create the input-output, we need to make sure we fill it in with the given information. So we get a lot of information in our scenario or our example. Next, we need to find a pattern. We're looking for a relationship between X and Y. Now, there is a relationship between Y, how we find our unit rate, but we're looking for X and Y, but we'll talk more about that. Now, one of the things we need is to make an equation. I have told you that Y is the result of whatever happens to X. With a unit rate, it is a multiplication. That's why I have unit rate here. But not all graphed points with independent and dependent variables have to be a unit rate using multiplication. So we're making sure we pay attention to what the relationship between X and Y, because sometimes it might be an addition or it might even be a subtraction. So we're always looking to see, what did I do to X to get Y? That's the relationship we're looking for. Okay, ooh, have that little hand in the way. Next, this is the new stuff. New, right here, step 4. This is where you're going to graph. Now I said with ordered pairs, we're going to get the ordered pairs from the input-output chart. We have to remember that our x-axis is horizontal, and that also means that it is the independent variable. Very important. Then we have the y-axis, which is vertical, and this is the dependent variable. Remember, x and y. And then here, I'll just go right back up here. Here's our ordered pair. Remember, we always go x, then y when we're graphing. Oop, and guess what I did? I left a spot here for x and y. X first, then y. Okay? Now here's our scenario. A car travels at 65 miles per hour. What are the miles driven in 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours? So we have to determine which is our x. Well, I know this is going to be x and this is going to be y in my chart. So I need to determine, is it miles or hours that is my independent variable? Because I have 65 miles per hour. Well, guess what? Miles per hour, that's considered a unit rate. Sorry, that should be an H. Miles per hour. I'll rewrite it. So guess what? Hours is my X and the miles is my Y. So now that I have that information, I can start to fill out my input-output chart. So I always make sure I write down it is hours And I'm also going to write down my miles. And I said yesterday, make sure you start with 0. You can't go anywhere if you have no time to go drive those miles. But here it says miles per hour. Per hour means 1 hour. And then it also wants to know 2, 3, and 4. And guess what? They gave me 65 miles per hour per 1 hour. So this is 65. Now the beauty of this is my unit rate. So I'm going to go ahead and write down under here. Actually, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say unit rate. So I go 65 miles in 1 hour, or in 1 hour, I go 65 miles. Now, here's where we want to make sure we're looking at a relationship. But guess what? We need to fill in the rest of these. So if I have this, I know that I added 65, right? So then I would add another 65, and I would add another 65, and I would add another 65. But I said we want to look at the relationship between X and Y. So this is just a relationship between Y. Well, what did I do to X to get Y? Since we are working with a unit rate, I can use this. Oops, sorry. I can use this equation. This equation is for a unit rate. So I'm going to write y equals, 65 is my unit rate, and it's X. Let's see if it works. So y equals 65 times 2. What does that equal? It equals 130. 65 plus 130, hey, it worked. How about y equals 65 times 3? 65 times 3 equals 195. Hey, it works. Let's see. Y equals 65, and I'm just plugging in the numbers that were my given. Let's see. We'll even do this over to the side here. 65 times 4. It equals 260. Well, if you take 65 and add it to 195, it equals 260. So the relationship is to multiply X by the unit rate of 65. It worked. Okay, now comes the graphing. Now, I did say we used the ordered pairs. So what are my ordered pairs? Well, X, Y. So I'm going to write X and Y just to remind myself. So I have 0, 0. I have 165. I have 2 and 130. I have 3 and 195. And I have 4 and 260. Well, I have to graph these. Okay, let's do it. So here is my makeshift graph. So this is going to be X and this is Y. Because when I graph, I use it on a grid. Now I have to put my intervals in. My X intervals, I have 0, which would be here. And then I would have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have my Y intervals. So I have 0, which is here. I have 65. I have 130. I have 195. And I have 260. Where did I get those from? Right here. Y. It even says it. So now I can plot my points. So the first one is 0, 0. The second one is 165. I go across 1 and up 65. I go across 2 and up to 130. I go across 3 and I go up to 195. I go across 4 and I go up to 260. And now I have graphed my equation and solved for x and y.